Hey guys, it's Casera, and today I'm going to be doing a 24 and 48 read-a-thon. I decided to do this because I've been really busy lately and kind of scatterbrained and like doing a lot of different things, and I just wanted to relax for a couple days and get some reading done. And I figured since I was doing it anyway, might as well vlog it for you guys. I've seen tons of vlogs for this already. I thought it'd be an interesting video to make. So I've chosen 2 audiobooks and 6 physical books to read during this read-a-thon. The audiobooks that I chose are Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So last year I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid and I loved it. Earlier this year I read One True Loves, also by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I didn't like it as much, but I've heard some really great things about Maybe in Another Life. So the concept of this book basically is that every choice that we make puts our lives in different paths, basically. So at the beginning of the novel, the main character has a choice to make, and we get to follow their life as if they said yes to the choice, as well as the other side of it as if they said no to the choice. I did actually start this book already. I started it at around 10 a.m., so I'm counting that as part of the read-a-thon. And so far, I'm really loving it. I felt the same way about One True Loves at the beginning though too, so we'll see how I like it towards the end, but it's really interesting so far. The other audiobook that I plan to read during this time is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. I don't know very much about this book. All I know is that it is about a character that lives the same life over and over again, or lives different lives over and over again, something like that. I recently read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which is kind of like that. They live in multiple bodies and live lives over and over again. So I just felt like reading another book similar to that. So I'm hoping that Life After Life is similar to Evelyn Hardcastle. So for the physical books that I plan on reading, 3 of them I've already started, and the other 3 are going to be new books to me. The first one is The Book Thief. So this is a book that I have been reading for a little while right now, but I've just been really easily distracted by other books and reading a lot of audiobooks that I just haven't gotten to it, and this is the main one that I want to finish during these 2 days, so I'm excited to do that. The next book that I want to make progress on is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. I've been reading this for about 8 months now. I'm just really easily distracted. It's not that I don't like this book. I actually really enjoy it while I'm reading it. It's just when I stop reading it and I start reading something else, I get more into the other book, but I do want to try and finish this book. I don't know if I'll do it in the next 2 days, but I do want to make a good progress in it because I want to get to the 3rd book in the series. The last book that I'm also currently reading is Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. I'm taking this one really slow, so I definitely don't expect to finish this book during the read-a-thon, but I will definitely make some progress on it. So for the 3 books that I plan on starting, the first one I am so excited for, and that is In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire. This is the 4th book in the Wayward Children series. The Wayward Children series made my best books of 2018 list, so I'm so excited to read this one. It just came out on Tuesday. This is probably the first physical book that I'm going to pick up today, and I definitely think that I'll probably finish it, if not today, then definitely tomorrow. The next book I am not excited for, and that is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This is my unwrapped book for next week, and I'm not happy about it at all because I was not ready to read this book. I'm ready to read a lot of classics. This is not one of them. This is a very big classic. It is also, I've heard, very dense. Charles Dickens. I have read one book by Charles Dickens, Tale of Two Cities. That was a really long time ago, so I don't really know how much I like his writing style, and I'm worried about this one, so I have to start it early. There are 437 pages in this book, so in order to keep it, I have to read to 219. I do want to keep this book because I do definitely want to read it eventually. I just was not ready to read it now. So we'll see how this goes. The last book on this list I am significantly more excited for, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I have wanted to read this book for years now, and I just haven't gotten around to it, so I'm definitely excited to finally get around to it. So these are all the books that I plan to read over the course of the next 2 days. I'll check in with you guys later. Bye. finished the first 2 chapters of In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire, and I forgot how much I loved her writing style. I really enjoy reading her writing style. We are following the character of Catherine Lundy in 1962 when she's a child and goes to the goblin market. So far, nothing has really happened other than that, but I just love being in this world. The way Shauna McGuire describes the world and describes everything that's going on, it just pulls you into the story, and it's definitely very character focused. I don't normally like character focused books as much, but for some reason, the way she writes her characters, I just really love it. I'm definitely finishing this one today. I have some few things that I need to do, but I will definitely get back to this a little bit later. So I ended up being a lot more productive today than I was planning to be. So I didn't get a whole lot of reading done so far. I did get to listen to my audiobook as I was doing other things, and I ended up finishing it. So I finished Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was really enjoying it as I was reading it, but I feel like the ending left me wanting more. It closed very nicely, but I didn't like that it did almost. I wanted more drama out of it, I guess. I feel like there could have been some really good Easter eggs going like between the lives, and there were some Easter eggs there that were interesting, but at the same time, I just felt like I wanted more from it. I ended up giving it 4 stars because I still really enjoyed reading it, but there was just something about it that I felt like was missing. So I finally have time again, and I want to get back to In an Absent Dream. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it now, and then I'll start on one of my other books. I made a lot of progress on In an Absent Dream. I'm almost done with it. So I'm right over here on page 123. So there's only like 70 something pages left in the book, and I didn't want to finish it. I just wanted to stay in that world a little bit longer, so I decided to start on some of the other books. I ended up picking up Great Expectations, which I was surprised by how easy this was to read. I read the first 3 chapters, which is like 20 pages or so, and I was actually enjoying it. So the main character is Pip, and he is an orphan who's living with his sister who's married to a blacksmith. And all that's really happened so far is that an escaped prisoner basically forced him into getting food for him. So nothing much has happened, but I'm surprised by how much I like Charles Dickens' writing style. I didn't expect to like it because I expected it to be more old-timey, but it didn't really feel that way to me. So I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic about this week's challenge. Also, I did get to read more of The Book Thief. I'm on page 154, and so far I'm really liking it. I don't read a whole lot of historical fiction, so this one's a bit slower for me. I feel like historical fiction in general, unless it's like historical romance, I feel like historical fiction in general just is slower for me, but I am liking it so far. There's still a lot of this book to go, so I don't know if I will finish it over the course of this read-a-thon, but hopefully I will finish it soon, because that's all I really got to today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get a little bit more reading done. I'll see you. Saturday, January 12th. It's the morning time. Last night I decided to download the audiobook for The Book Thief so that I could listen to it as I was going to sleep. I also listened to it quite a bit this morning while I was just getting ready. I've made a lot of progress in The Book Thief, and I switched to the physical copy also. I actually really like reading the physical book here. I don't mind the audiobook. The audiobook's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I prefer the physical book. I've gotten pretty far into it. I'm on page 292 now. That's what audiobooks do. They just like propel you through the story. But so far I'm really liking it. I want to see where it's going. One thing I like about this is that it's set in Nazi Germany, but it's not so much about the Nazis. I mean, yes, it is, but I feel like there's another story and the setting just happens to be Nazi Germany, which kind of just raises the stakes on everything, but it's not about the Holocaust necessarily, if that makes sense. Maybe that'll change as the book goes on, but so far, I kind of like the way it's written, so I'm liking it. I plan to switch to In an Absent Dream. I don't have the dust jacket on it because I don't like reading it with, I don't like reading hardcovers with dust jackets. I don't know why, it's weird. I plan on finishing this one, and then I might start another book because I feel like I've gotten a lot of the Book Thief read. I don't think I'm gonna finish that one during this readathon. Oh, I also have to get some Great Expectations read. So after In an Absent Dream, I'll probably read a little bit of Great Expectations before starting another book. Finished In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire. I really enjoyed this book. I love the world. I absolutely love the world. I love the main character, Lundy. She's fantastic. I love like just being inside of her mind because it's a little different than mine, but I still kind of like understand her way of thinking, and it's just so interesting to me. I really love this story. I think it was a really great story, but there were times that I just wanted more from this book. There were like at least 3 or 4 chapters that I felt could have been expanded into like books the same size as this one. Like this is a really small book for the amount of content that she's able to pack into this. So we are following Lundy as she travels to the Goblin Market and back again like several times from the age of like 8 to 18. So it covers 10 years of content basically. And there's definitely like characters that are talked about. There's one character named Mockery who I'm so fascinated by, but is only ever mentioned. We never actually get to meet Mockery, and I really want to meet Mockery. So yes, really enjoyed it to death. But I just wanted so much more from this book. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. Now I have a few errands that I have to go run out, but when I get back, I'm going to work on Great Expectations a little bit, and then I want to start The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's my plan for tonight, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, so we're gonna come to a close on this reading vlog. I actually think I did end up reading 24 hours in the 48 hours. I didn't do the best job of it. At least half of that was audiobooks. The first audiobook I finished was Maybe in Another Life yesterday. I read the entire audiobook, which was like 10 hours, but I read it at 1.5 speed. So it would have ended up being a little less than that. And then today, as I was doing errands, which the weird thing about readathons like this for me is I tell myself I'm gonna read like for most of the day. And if I hadn't told myself I would do that, I probably would have ended up reading for a good portion of the day. Because I told myself I was gonna read for that much time, I ended up finding a lot of errands that I had to run that I probably wouldn't have noticed before. I did get to listen to an audiobook as I was running those errands. I had planned on listening to Life After Life, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. I had started it, and I found myself like not paying attention to the audiobook. That is a book that I do want to read eventually, so I didn't want to like get through the audiobook and just realize that I hadn't been paying attention to it at all. So I decided to pick up a different audiobook. I picked up The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, I think, and I finished it. I really liked it. It's definitely a romance novel, and definitely not an audiobook that you want to listen to while other people are around. Definitely not. The main character in this novel is autistic, but she is being pressured by her mom to start dating because her mom wants grandkids. So she hires a male escort to help teach her kind of the ins and outs, and of course they end up falling in love. I don't think that's a spoiler because it's a romance novel, obviously. This is the novel that won the best romance for 2018 in the Goodreads Choice Awards. So that's why I decided to pick it up, and I did really enjoy it. I don't know how many stars I'm gonna give it yet, but I'm leaning towards about 4 stars because I definitely really enjoyed it. Other than the 2 audiobooks, I did finish also In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire. I talked about this earlier, and I made progress both on The Book Thief. I'm about halfway done with The Book Thief now, and I made a little bit of progress with Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This is my wrapped book for this week, which I honestly don't know if I'm going to meet that challenge this week. We shall see. The last 2 weeks went pretty well, so I'm hoping I will. I wasn't as productive as I was hoping to be because I was definitely hoping to finish The Book Thief and get more of Great Expectations read and start a new physical book, but I just didn't get around to it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I post videos every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, so consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mocking? Moon and Mocker? Something like that? There's one character in particular. I want to look it up now. Mockery. Okay, so there's one character named Mockery who I am so fascinated. Almost hit myself in the face.